Okay then, let's address it. Let me sit down here and finally address the comments. My new name is Donald because for the last few weeks I have been a big fat duck. So honestly, I'm gonna make like Donald Duck and walk outside with no pants. Okay, no, I won't actually do that. I would very quickly have horrified old women begging their cats to scratch out their eyes. But yeah, for the last few weeks, you've been asking, nay, demanding that I react to my Europa League predictions. And every day that went by, the anger grew and grew to such a point that right now, I'm pretty sure you all want to feed my head to a hungry kangaroo. But let's be real here. You don't care about my predicted Europa League table. I mean, does anyone really care where I tipped FC Midtjylland to finish? I would imagine you care about that as much as I care about what color is slug earwax. No, you just care about one certain club who I backed to finish top. Play the clip.
First, Fenerbahce 22 points. 3 words. The special one. I'm telling you lads, Fenerbahce are winning this table. Honestly lads, this season is going to be so sweet because once Fenerbahce top this table, finishing above Manchester United, Tottenham and Roma, the last 3 clubs to sack him, this is going to be vindication. Every team who sacked him, he is going to finish above them. It's going to be absolutely beautiful to watch. This is the revenge of Mourinho.
1 second, please. There! You happy now? So let's all move on with our lives and eat our Weetabix in peace. I mean, you all want Europa League predictions? All 5 of you sitting at home with a banana milkshake? To quote a pissed off midget,
If you want some, I'll give it you.
today I'm gonna predict the entire Europa League tournament from the last round of 32 to the final. Who wins? Right, let's go. Last 32, AZ Alkmaar versus Tottenham. So here we have Tottenham going to AA. They should probably bring Jack Grealish on the plane. This is Spurs' last chance to win a trophy this season, after Ange Postecoglou sort of promised that he would. Then yeah, this is his chance to finally save his bacon. Although I'm guessing the mere mention of bacon would cause him to drool over his feet. Lads, Spurs are about to travel to the Netherlands to face a tricky outfit in AZ Alkmaar. Oh, can you imagine? Can you imagine if they get knocked out by Troy Paris? I so hope that happens. I do. I'm sorry, but this 23-year-old Ireland international striker spent 7 years at Spurs. And I was gassed when he nearly scored past Buffon in a preseason friendly. That was his best moment in a Spurs shirt. Playing in a game that mattered about as much as my birth. I mean, you will all think that this striker is about as threatening as melted Freddos. I don't know. Forget about being a fighting prospect for Europa League managers. No. True or false? Parrott has this season scored 4 goals in 1 match against a current Champions League manager. Oh, you better believe the answer is Troy. I'm guessing Robin van Persie is so traumatized by that 9-1 that he probably still gets sweaty palms watching Rio with his kids. Think about it. You'll get that one on the way home. Look, AZ are tricky customers. They are really tricky customers. Like when a Karen tries to bully a barista for giving her a cold coffee. They just dismantled a good Galatasaray team. They only lost by a goal at Spurs ground before Halloween. So I think Tottenham squeeze out a 1-1 draw in Holland before labouring to a really nervy, unconvincing 2-1 win at home. And I'm going to say it. I think Parrott scores against Spurs. Ajax versus Eintracht Frankfurt. Whisper it quietly, but Ajax are kind of back. I mean, last season, this team were an absolute joke. Come on, for a former European champion to be getting grilled 4-0 at Aston Villa. Jordan Henderson must have felt super embarrassed, as if he'd just been caught chewing cat poo in his car. But new boss Francesco Farioli has breathed some life back into this club, and they're now flying high at the top of the Eredivisie table after 9 league wins in a row. Look, recent Europa League champions Eintracht Frankfurt are the favourites in this tie. Of course they are. Hello? They're 3rd in the Bundesliga. But I don't know. I think being forced to sell their star boy Omar Marmoush mid-season is going to cost them Champions League qualification. Come on, they've won 1 of the last 6 league matches. Sorry, but I actually think this is going to be a huge Ajax win. A 4-0 win at home before, yeah, maybe a 2-0 win for Frankfurt in Germany. But Ajax go through 4-2 in aggregate. Bodo Glimt versus Olympiacos. I will never forgive this Norwegian password for publicly embarrassing Jose Mourinho a couple of years ago. I'm sorry. But putting 6th past his Roma defense, you might as well have spat in his face and maybe dug up his mum to poo in her coffin. Olympiacos are Europa Conference League champions, which is something. I mean, to be fair, the medals are about as prestigious as anything won at your school sports day. Ozzy, when Chelsea win it this season, they shouldn't be in that competition. It is honestly like letting an adult compete in your children's sports day. Ozzy, Honestly, if a Chelsea player doesn't immediately throw their medal into the crowd when they win it, then I will faceplant into a bowl of Weetabix in public. I'm going for an Olympiacos win. Their defense is ridiculous. They've kept 6 clean sheets in their 8 Europa League matches. They've got the best defense in the tournament. They are absolute contenders for the crown. I'll go for a 1-0 win for them in Norway before a 2-0 win at home. 3-0 on aggregate, easy. Victoria Pilsen versus Lazio. Victoria Pilsen don't have a chance. Genuine mismatch. Lazio will absolutely eat them for breakfast. A 3-0 win in Czech Republic before a 5-1 win at home. Yes, 8-1 in aggregate with Ibrahimovic netting a bicycle kick. Fenerbahce versus Rangers. Are you serious? This is a European night where Jose Mourinho is pitting his wits against Barry Ferguson, somebody who has managed Clyde, Kelty Hearts, and Aloha Athletic. I am actually scared for Big Baza. It's actually sort of terrifying that he's gonna have to work out how to outwit one of the greatest managers to ever live. This is like Floyd Mayweather versus Deji. He's not even a manager, as proven by the fact he just lost at home to Motherwell. You might as well have stuck Jack Butland's mum in charge. My first ever introduction to Jose Mourinho was when he took on Ferguson on a European night. Mourinho versus Ferguson was one of the greatest managerial duels of our time. But come on, this baby Fergie is a fraud. Same name, yes, but no. Technically, this is Mourinho versus Ferguson on paper, but come on. This is like if George Foreman now fights Dele Alli. Barry Ferguson is a babysitter. Somebody who was once Rangers version of Scott Brown, carving out a career as a rock-hard Scottish Roy Keane. But once they step foot in the English league, suddenly it looked more mediocre than any line of dialogue in an Angry Beavers episode. I'm sorry, but there's literally 0 chance of Rangers progressing here. It just can't happen. It is actually impossible for Mourinho to be outwitted by a man who once lost a game 8-1. Ironically, that was against Rangers when he was at Clyde. He was manager of Kelty Hearts, something which sounds like a matchmaking bingo night for lonely widows on a Thursday night. Sorry, but Fenerbahce are winning 6-0 on aggregate. Easy. And lads, if Rangers go through instead, then I will take a bath in mud. Roma versus Athletic Bilbao. The Europa League final is in Athletic Bilbao Stadium, so you better believe Ernesto Valverde's boys are going to be so hungry to go all the way. But Roma are having a very good season too. After absolutely falling off a cliff after stupidly sacking Mourinho, I mean, look, I can see the romance in Roma wanting a club legend like Daniel De Rossi at the wheel, sure. I mean, to be fair, it did stink of absolute nonsense and will be the equivalent of Liverpool breaking up with Arne Slot for Stevie G. But hey, you can understand why Roma would have wanted to try and make the fairy tale work. But can you believe that their second manager after Jose was Ivan Juric, the guy who's currently in charge of arguably the worst Premier League team in history. Anyway, now the Roma boss is Claudio Ranieri, someone who survived less than 20 games at both Fulham and Watford. I mean, the sheen of that Leicester City Premier League miracle has long since worn off. Our last memories of Ranieri in English football is him being a befuddled old granddad who can't remember the name of his dog and who's starting to think that his goldfish is an alien. He looks like a senile old man. I mean, he was old when he was Chelsea boss. So now you are assuming he must be 94 who poos the bed 4 times a night. No, he's back at Roma again. And he's actually massively turned it around. They haven't lost since mid-December, where to be fair, him losing to Cesc Fabregas would have been humbling. Considering Ranieri has been a manager since before he was born. Well look, Roma right now look great. And this will be close. It was a 1-1 draw between these two on match day 1, and that was back when the Italians were coached by a cookie-brained lump of dog food like Juric. Someone who honestly, I'm a better manager than him. Me! He looks like that sort of strange vet who you just know keeps trying to make out with your cat. I'm gonna go for 2 draws, 1-1 in both legs. I'll go for penalties and Roma will just edge it. This is such a unique managerial duel because both guys are back at these clubs for a 3rd managerial stint. Yeah, Ranieri first became Roma boss in 2009. Valverde took the Bilbao job in 2003, so that's pretty cool. FCSB versus Lyon. No chance. How are remaining out Fitzgerald Bucharest in the knockout round? Sorry, Leon. Paulo Fonseca's boys are gonna so easily win this one. 5-0 on aggregate. Next, Real Sociedad versus Man United. These clubs must be sick of each other. After this month, Manchester United and Real Sociedad will have played each other 6 times since February 2021. Look, this could go either way. Man United are having a diabolical season, but Real Sociedad are also having a dud year. Come on, they've lost 6 of the last 9 league matches. Martin Zubameni was surely be looking like he's got the brains of a meatloaf sandwich to turn down Liverpool in the summer. Emmanuel Aguafil has done amazing work as Sociedad manager after having took the job in 2018, but I think he's leaving in the summer. And I think it's going to be a depressing defeat to Man United. I think Man United nicked the win. Alejandro Garnacho scored a late winner in Spain. 1-0 win before, a really ugly 0-0 draw at Old Trafford. 1-0 Man United win in aggregate. Next, quarterfinals Tottenham versus Ajax. Well, isn't this a fun reunion? The greatest night of Tottenham fans' lives came in the Ajax Stadium when Lucas Moura turned into Superman. Neither side are now a patch on what they were in 2019. All the stars have been dragged out of both clubs. And so, these won't be anywhere near as exciting as that Champions League semi-final. Look, I think Spurs turn it on in London to blow Ajax out of the water with a 3-0 win. They'll draw 2-2 in Holland, but a really good 5-2 aggregate win for Spurs. Olympiacos versus Lazio. Look, Lazio topped the Europa League table, so I would be silly not to predict them to go through here, right? Look, I think it'll be close. Olympiacos will squeak a 1-0 win in Greece, while Lazio will beat them 3-1 in Italy. 4-2 aggregate win for Lazio. Fenerbahce versus Roma. Oh, this is delicious. You can't write this. Jose Mourinho facing off against Roma in a European quarter-final against the club who treated them so ungratefully after he took them into not one but 2 European finals. I mean, you know that superhuman Bayer Leverkusen team that Xabi Alonso built? This guy, someone seen as a past dinosaur. Oh no, he was the one who deprived Alonso of a Europa League final. Not only did he beat Leverkusen, he didn't even let them score a single goal in either leg of that semi-final. And people want to try and pretend that Jose can no longer keep up with the young guns of management. That is laughable. Alonso is seen as the best young coach in the world, and Mourinho basically made him his pet. Well, look, here we will have Mourinho versus Ranieri. Oh, that's delicious. These two have never really liked each other. Not really, after Jose stole his Chelsea job in 2004. But it'll actually be exciting to finally see these two managers go head-to-head in a European competition for the first time ever. I'll say Fenerbahce win 2-1 in Turkey and grind out a 1-1 draw in Rome. And yes, this will be the sweetest Mourinho revenge of his entire career. Oh, yummy, 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 yummy. Lyon versus Man United. This should arguably be the end of the line for Manchester United, right? Yeah, sure. On paper, Lyon have a very talented little squad, but don't think for a second that they're not paralyzed by fear, by a potential summer relegation for having crazy finances. I think Amorim gets a 2-2 draw in France and beats them at home in a wacky 3-2 game. I think there'll be loads of goals in this tie, but Man United just about win 5-4 in aggregate. Just semi-finals, Tottenham versus Lazio. This will be huge. I mean, on paper it should be. It doesn't bode well that Tottenham and Lazio have only ever met each other in one season before. In the Europa League back in 2012, 2-0-0s. Those games looked about as exciting as any TV program starring Dion Dublin. But I think this will be the opposite. Postecoglou should have a pretty fit squad by April, and I think it's going to be one of the greatest nights in Spurs history. I reckon they get back to another European final. A dramatic 2-1 win in both legs for Spurs, giving them a crazy 4-2 aggregate win. Fenerbahce versus Man United. Can you feel it? Are you telling me that Mourinho could have a quarter-final against Roma, a semi-final against Manchester United, and then a final against Spurs? This is such a perfect revenge arc. It's where the script had been written by Quentin Tarantino. I'm sorry, but the way this European path has been laid out, it is too good to be true. This is the ultimate Mourinho revenge villain arc. He's Django. Right now, he is Django. Come on, a European semi-final against the kid who he mentored as an intern at Old Trafford? Some rookie who he allowed into the building to use their toilet? So I should tip Fenerbahce to win here, right? Getting revenge on Manchester United before then getting revenge on Spurs? But I think this season is going to break my heart. This would be the cruelest exit ever because I so badly want Mourinho to prove everybody wrong. And what better way than to beat both English clubs who wronged him? Ugh. Does he have the players of Fenerbahce to reach a Europa League final? I don't know. Nothing would give me more joy than to see a picture of Mourinho and St. Maximin dancing with the cup in May. I so badly want to see that happen, but I can just sense impending doom. Maybe I'm in a pessimistic football moment right now because I've just seen that Lewis Hall is out of the League Cup final, meaning that the world's best player is going to be marked by Matt Target. That alone has managed to make me drown my football romance in a bucket of fish. I think Man United win 1-0 in aggregate. I know, I hate it, but a late Bruno Fernandes penalty. And it's going to be absolutely devastating. I think I might cry. Final Tottenham versus Manchester United. An all-English Europa League final again. Why not? Spurs and Manchester United will be the first clubs to reach a Europa League final the same season they finished bottom half in their domestic league. The first ones since Fulham in 2010. Guys, well, Fulham lost 5 league games in a row that season. They were not good that year, and yet nearly won the Europa League. So come on, lads. Take a leaf out of Fulham's book. They wound up on 46 points that year. That seems about right for both Spurs and Man United, right? Look, I'm going to go for a Manchester United win. Come on. Spurs in a final? Spurs? Of course they're going to choke. They won't know how to handle the occasion. Just like how in their last all-English European final, they managed to keep their cool for less than a minute. And Man United usually keep it together in a European final. I mean, lads, in the Europa League final of 2021, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and managerial toad took the great serial winner Unai Emery all the way to penalties. I'm going to say 2-1. Solanke will open the scoring for Spurs, but they'll get nervous. And then experienced European veteran Matthijs de Ligt will score an equalizer on the stroke of half-time. By the way, he'll get a man of the match award. He will come alive in this match before Mason Mount scores a late extra time winner off the bench. Absolute scene. So there you have it. As much as I would love Fenerbahce to win this whole thing, I just have a funny feeling about Manchester United. Mount is about to rescue his whole career. Sorry, Spurs. Anyway, that's the end of the video. Let me know in the comments section who do you think is going to win the Europa League final. Let me know in the comments section below if you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, ways. I'll talk to you in a while.